Surprise! I'm in a new style! I've been wanting to do this since, my review on, Black Panther and Gotham by Gaslight, but I never got around to doing it. So I figured, why the hell not? Let's do it. And so, I am going to be doing this throughout the rest of my reviews, and that could possibly mean that reviews will definitely be coming out quicker, especially since my phone is being a bit of a pain with recording such stuff from before. Out of the reviews I did back in 2018, I'm surprised not a single one of them was a movie from DreamWorks Animation. I guess I can put that thought to rest, as this is my first review on an animated movie released by DreamWorks. Not only is it their most recent movie, but it's also the finale to one of their most beloved and successful franchises of all time, the How to Train Your Dragon series. So, did this movie have a perfect ending? Or was this a disappointment? Let's find out. This is my review on How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World. DreamWorks is well known for being one of the studios to start the CG animation trend alongside Pixar, along with being a rival to Pixar. They also created some really well-known movies that have become beloved by many, such as Shrek, Kung Fu Panda, and the best one being the How to Train Your Dragon series. Starting in 2010 with the first movie, the series then went through a TV series on Cartoon Network before a movie sequel in 2014, which then got a Netflix series, and then we are on the latest movie and the final chapter to the story. I will say this right now, that I haven't watched any of the TV series and I've only seen the first two movies. I even decided to watch the first two movies the day I went to go see this third movie, to remind myself of how great this series really is, and if the previous two movies still hold up, which they do. Alright, enough filler. Let's see if the ending was perfect, and maybe the best one in the trilogy? So, the story takes place a year after How to Train Your Dragon 2. Berg has become the hotspot for dragons to live, and the people who live there think both Hiccup and Astrid should one day get married. One day, Hiccup and the gang with Toothless discover that there's another Night Fury, which they decide to call a Light Fury. Toothless falls in love, and it becomes a love story for the character. Meanwhile, a new threat to Berg and the dragons appears named Grimble, who wants to kill all Night Furies in the world, which meaning Toothless and the Light Fury. Hiccup remembers his father mentioned a place called the Hidden World, which is the home for all the dragons. So Hiccup gets everyone in Berg to send every dragon to the Hidden World before it's too late. I always found the How to Train Your Dragon movies to improve every time, and that means that this movie did live up to my expectations. And I can say that this is the best movie in the trilogy. The story was great, and it doesn't have anything really repeated from the previous movies. The first movie had a lot of cliches, but let's be honest, every movie has those. Sometimes it can work well, while other times it doesn't. Here, it is done well. I won't spoil the ending, but I will say that two things I expected to happen in the ending did come true, and I feel really happy about that. And if anyone is wondering, yes, I did get emotional to this movie. But how could I not? With it being the ending, this kind of thing is likely to happen. Most side characters don't get a focus in this movie, but they didn't really get that much focus in the previous two, other than to see how each character would be like in the movies. I'm guessing the TV shows might have given them a focus, but I haven't seen them, so I wouldn't know. I will say that each one does get some enjoyment out of me, and even a laugh from time to time. I'd say the big piece of character development comes from Toothless and the Light Fury along with Hiccup and Astrid, making more of this movie as a love story, which is pretty well done, as I've seen DreamWorks do love stories in their movies in the past, so this isn't anything different for them, but it's something that they can do well, even with stuff where Hiccup has to know if he should give up Toothless and set him free to be with the Light Fury. Something a lot of people can relate to when saying letting a loved one go. And then there's Grimmel, the villain of the movie. There wasn't really a villain in the first movie, and the second one is a pretty good villain, and Grimmel here is just as good. He wants to kill every Night Fury and also destroy everything that Hiccup loves. He's pretty funny and threatening at times. He's a pretty good villain. And my god, he won't run away from a dragon trying to come at him or anything. The animation is so fantastic. The animation in each movie improves and the locations look gorgeous. Look at the hidden world. This place is amazing. I wish this was a real place to go. I noticed that DreamWorks make their characters look like they're in motion capture, and if so, this is done right. The movements are normal and they aren't like food fight. John Powell returns to compose the third movie, and what he does here is an improvement from the previous two movies. The action is great, the slow bits are great, and even the sad music is great. It's a really great track, and I even love listening to the main theme of the movie. I even have it playing in the background because it's a really good song. You should listen to it. Overall, How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World is a fantastic movie. When it comes to sequels, they can either be really great or pretty bad. And here, we've got a great trilogy, and without a doubt, the best movie in the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy. With a great story and characters, amazing animation, and a great soundtrack, this is a perfect ending to the movies, and just the series as a whole. Any fan of the series, this is a must-watch. Check it out if you haven't already. An animated movie I highly recommend. Sad it had to end, but it had a really good run. From 2010 to 2019, that's a really good run for something like that. I mean, it could have been Toy Story, but it decided not to. So now, we move away from DreamWorks until the next movie, or if I decide to review any of their old stuff, and head back to the Warner Animation Group with their latest movie, The Lego Movie 2, the second part. See you all then.